What is a totally wrong thing that has become so widespread it's not considered wrong anymore? Spam email. We ignore it, it's just there. But shouldn't be. Employers expecting employees to check emails while outside of work. Your boss expecting that they can contact you at any hour. Plastic everything packaged in more plastic. Well, I'm not sure if it's actually wrong, but needing a few years of experience for an entry-level job just sounds pretty wrong to me. Making terms and conditions overcomplicated and long. A job making you seasonal/part-time, but works you at least 40 hours every week, never giving you full-time wage or insurance. Harvesting as much data as possible. You have to go to some extreme lengths to prevent your personal information being sent to random strangers you have never met. Social media addiction. Does anyone else think it's weird that we all know that our clothes, electronics, and pretty much anything else we buy is made by sweat shop or literally slave labor, and everyone seems to be fine with that? Edit. Wow, I didn't expect so many people to read and respond. To everyone saying there's nothing average people can do about it, or asking me what average people can do about it, there are a few simple things you can do. Shop less. Don't buy things you don't need. Shop second-hand. Take care of the things you do have. Make them last. Write your legislators, and write corporations themselves, and let them know that what they're doing is not okay. Not everyone can be perfect and do everything, but everyone can do something. Having to accept cookies for every website. Having no regard for your mental health/peace of mind in the name of hustling. Funnily enough, having no work-life balance is flaunted. Bosses threatening your job or hours if you call in sick or use vacation time at inconvenient times. Unpaid internships is incredibly wrong. I'd say the way out is mandatory in the trades world. This has changed a lot since COVID, I'm assuming, but people going to work when they're sick. Not sure what it's like in the rest of the world, but I feel like in the US we've been conditioned to feel like it's worse to be an inconvenience by not showing up to work than going to work sick, miserable, and getting everyone else sick. Edit. Just wanted to add, I'm not trying to attack those who can't afford to take time off. I absolutely understand that that's a reality for a lot of people. I get that many times there is no good choice. There are also times where paid sick time is available, but workers are bullied into feeling like they can't take time off, or honestly think their place of work can't survive without them. That's BS. Short-term diet culture. Multi-level marketing company groups that target women who peaked in high school or college and lure them to think it'll make them boss babes by harassing their personal connections and contacts about leggings/candles/skincare/nails/supplements. Cost of higher education. The sexualization of our youth on social media and algorithms that reward them and promote it. Using your children to become an influencer. I have an Instagram page where I share play ideas as an educator, but my kids' faces are never in the photos. I don't mention their names either. So many parents with similar accounts are posting daily numerous photos and videos of their kids to thousands of followers and getting them involved in live feeds and stories. We have got a generation of kids who in 10 to 15 years time will have their entire childhood documented online, and it will all have been done without their consent. Edit. Thank you so much for all the upvotes and awards. I'm just glad to see it isn't just me, as Insta seems to be full of oversharing mums. I was beginning to think it is just me who treats my children like they are in the witness protection scheme. Websites selling personal information by default. Being proud of and bragging about a lack of sleep as if it's some sort of virtue. Arguments being verbal battles meant to be won. Not the asterisk aren't. Arguments are discussions with the objective of reaching a truth or consensus. It's not about dunking on your interlocutor or asserting your beliefs over theirs. Taking pictures of strangers who aren't doing anything wrong or untoward, just to post up on social media with some snark or judgment. Talking on speakerphone while in a public place. Seriously *************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************
supports your worldview. Photoshopping and social media. Sure, let me Photoshop myself into a completely different looking person and receive all praise, as if it actually validates me. How Western nations ship their garbage to small Southeast Asian islands and call it recycling. The confusion between then and than. How much material classified as recyclable is, in truth, not recyclable. It's more a marketing win that kept people using plastics. Why else would China stop taking the world's trash? They could do nothing with it but bury it in the ground. Perfect attendance being celebrated for kids. When my kid is sick, he stays home. He's healthy too. I can't imagine having a kid with a disorder that makes them prone to being sick more often and then not getting some little award for not being in school every day. Kids get sick. It's not wise to send them to school anyway, so they can spread their germs. The customer is always right. Using your real name on the internet. Flashing used to be illegal. Now every woman gets dicks in their DMs from strangers. Edit, I must have hit the nail on the head for this one considering the replies. Yes, I meant unsolicited nudes. No, I don't think that flashing and e-flashing have the same immediate threat, but I do think that e-flashing is still threatening and worth criminalizing. If this is a problem that every woman deals with online, then it's obviously time to let the law in. Yes, the law gets abused with false reporting. We still have laws. If you disagree with how nudity is natural and not a big deal, then you aren't looking at the reality of our culture now. Getting consent is really easy for nudists. This is barely even a related argument. Ask for consent. Could have instead of could have. Maybe this is just a me thing, but as someone who is adopted, I'm really bothered by adoptive parents who lie to their kids. I think starting your relationship with your child based on a lie is completely wrong, and it will come back to bite you later. Unfortunately, some parents who cannot biologically have children will choose to supplement this by adopting a kid and telling that kid they gave birth to them. This needlessly stigmatizes adoption by making it a shameful secret, while also making sure that, if this child finds out later in life, they resent their parents 100% and never trust them again. It's just awful. My parents were completely transparent with me from a really young age, and I grew up well. I love my parents and personally have no desire to ever meet my biological mother. Every adopted kid is different, but they all deserve to be told the truth. Crimes as long as you have money. And I don't mean that you can pay lawyers or something. Sometimes it just looks that you are just allowed to be a criminal if you just have money. Talking on the phone loudly, wherever you happen to be. No one steps away anymore or even acts embarrassed when on the phone in public. Drives me crazy. Banks charging you fees to use your own money. This is just one among many other practices that are wrong. Taking pictures of random people and turning them into memes. Tying your health insurance to your work, USA. If you become too sick to work, example, terminal cancer, you lose your job and your healthcare coverage. Dental not being included in healthcare. How is the health of your mouth and teeth separate from the health of the rest of your body and necessitate totally different and pricey insurance? That bats can't see. Bats have perfectly functioning eyes that are just as good, if not better than ours. The fact that many big corporations just don't pay taxes. It seems to be common knowledge, but no one seems to be doing anything about it. Single-use plastic. It is the stupidest thing humans can do. You need spaghetti, so you buy them wrapped in plastic. A material that, if not burned, will disintegrate into ever smaller particles that will creep their way back into the bodies of all living things on Earth.
Is that really worth it for a little bit of convenience? Women's clothing not having pockets. I'm a guy and I use my pockets all the time. I would die without them. Alcohol dependency/addiction. Now it's a social media trend amongst wine mums and anyone else who has experienced a mild inconvenience during their day. Somehow needing a drink to get through the day is relatable and funny now, instead of concerning. Paid parking nearly everywhere. Mandatory overtime and mandatory volunteering at work. Ridiculous medical bills. Everything badgel. I could care less instead of I could not care less. Irregardless. Excessive amount of vitamin C is a cold remedy. That Linus Pauling dreamt up this piece of and now the entirety of America believes in taking thousands of milligrams of vitamin C a day when all it does is stress your liver and kidneys cause it's water soluble and cannot be stored. Pirating movies/TV shows etc. Remember those FBI warnings back in the day? Neither do I. Mwahaha. Being so much against cultural appropriation you are basically against genuine good-willed mixing, sharing of cultures, immigration. For real, some of you are racist fuckers and not even realize it. Spelling losers loose. Lose means to misplace or the opposite of win. Loose means not tight. Lots of work and underpaid. Politicians openly lying with no consequence. The use of the word literally as an exaggeration, rather than in the original literal sense has now made it into the accepted lexicon. Factory farming. 99% of meat in the USA is processed in this inhumane manner, and when you tell people they don't really care, so I guess that counts as a response to your question. Allowing graphic violence, but disallowing anything related to sex, even mild nudity, or even things many people wouldn't even consider nudity. I mean, why do we work for 5 days then have 2 days off? Why not try 4 work days and 3 days off? Or literally any other combinations. Americans having barely any vacation time. And I've also heard, if they use it, it's almost frowned upon. Putting your children's lives, including their faces and real names and evidence of their schools, lifestyles, friends, and common player locations, on the internet.